Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. My name is Eine, and this is Rainier Books. It's Sunday again, Sunday, November 13th. The year is slowly disappearing, and I want to give you a sum up of the books that I've read last week and the books that I'm going to read over the course of the next week. So let's get started. So last week I finished two books, one audio and one printed book. The printed book that I finished is Maggie Haberman's Confidence Man, The Making of Donald Trump and the Breaking of America. And this is a 613 pages book that I listened to as an audiobook, narrated by Maggie Haberman, and she tells us the whole story almost of Donald J. Trump, the 45th president of the United States, who was probably one of the worst presidents the United States ever had. And she tells us the story from the very beginning, from his parents, his grandparents, his grandfather, who came to America from Germany, his father, who made success as a real estate entrepreneur in New York, and his son, who inherited a lot of money from him. And without the father's money, without the father's influence, he would have never made it in New York. And then this man becomes president. What Maggie Haberman is doing in this book, she is narrating the story of Trump with all the incidents that we have heard about. The interview with Hollywood X, I think is that, when he says that he grabs women by the beep. And she tells the story of Melania when she came to America and how she met Donald Trump. She talks about how Trump did his business, as how he built up the Trump Tower, and how Deutsche Bank from Germany saved his butt when he was almost broke. They always gave him new money to finance his projects with when nobody else gave him money. His character, his behavior to other people, his annoyance, his angriness, his way of humiliating other people, and the way that this resonated with millions and millions of American voters anyway. So that he could say that he could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and get away with it. That was what he said in the very beginning of the election campaign in 2016. And it seems like this would be the case in his base. So Haberman's book is very well researched. It's very well narrated. But what I do miss in this kind of accounts, I have read several accounts about the Trump presidency by American journalists, and what I'm missing is the analysis of the whole thing. So she tells us a lot about the making of Donald Trump. She tells us not so much things about the breaking of America, because the breaking of America started much earlier, and was parallel to Trump's rise as a show star, as an entertainer for many people. And this kind of story, this breaking of America that occurred before Trump's presidency, is not really told in this book. Okay, it would have had 950 to 1200 pages probably, but it's something, the analytical aspect of it is that I'm really missing in this account. Otherwise, if you haven't watched so much TV, if you haven't seen all the late shows with Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel and other people, if you haven't read the New York Times or other outlets, or watched CNN or Fox News and combined the facts that both TV stations reported, then this is a very good way of looking back. But maybe the worth of the value of the book by Maggie Haberman is in the future, when future generations, those who are children today and adults tomorrow, when they will pick up that book in, let's say, 10, 12, 15 years and want to look back at what happened when Trump was elected president. This will be a history book to look back to. It's not a book not a very hot book for the politically interested human being that has seen all the news, that read almost all the news, because you will recognize so many things in this account that you have seen, that you could almost in a duet tell together with Maggie Haberman. So this was the first book that I finished. The second book was a German book. As you might know, I don't read so much German books, not at all actually, although my German is my native language, and actually a friend of mine asked me now on Facebook when I posted, "Oh my God, Rainer, you are reading German books, how come?" Well, this is not a normal German book. It's one of the most successful writers today in German contemporary literature. I read and finished Heinz Strunk, Ein Sommer in Niendorf. A Summer in Niendorf, and I think I will make a single review about this book in German as an exception for that will appear on this channel. But since nothing of Heinz Strunk has been translated, and it's so difficult to get translated into English, just a short summary of this book, which I think is a very beautiful book, because I wrote on my Facebook account that nobody else in Germany today is writing so beautiful, funny, but also sad about loneliness and death as Heinz Strunk. In Ein Sommer in Niendorf, A Summer in Niendorf, we have a German lawyer whose name is Roth, and he is between two jobs. He has finished one job and he's going to work at another lawyer firm after the summer. So he spends 3 months in Niendorf, and it's a very beautiful resort close to Lübeck in northern Germany with the Baltic Sea and the beach at the Baltic Sea. Many old people, older German people stay there, and Strunk is also making the narrator. We see the world through Roth's eyes, is making jokes about it. Roth is divorced, he has a daughter, he has no partner right now. He is, well, he's he's a misanthrope, I would almost say, the opposite to a philanthrope. Because he hates people. He hates people for no reasons, or for very small reasons. His wife Francesca was almost an American evangelical, so extremely religious and conservative. His daughter he didn't like his daughter. He discovered that he doesn't like his daughter when she was 4 years old. Now she's an adult, she needs money, she hasn't settled in a life yet, and she comes to him and wants a loan, and he treats her very, very badly. He treats his ex-wife badly, he treats everyone badly. And Strunk, the author, is a very observant, he's a very observant observer, I was about to say. When he describes people, when he describes characters in Niendorf, people that Roth is meeting, we get descriptions of 2, 3, and 4 sentences where you really can say he nails it. And you recognize these types of people again. He's writing a lot about people who from the lower class people, alcoholics, drug addicts, just sometimes very dumb people. But he never is arrogant. He's always just describing them, sometimes in a very funny way, but he sort of hits always the right tone, which is not to humiliate, not to make jokes about these people, but to take them seriously. And that is what Heinz Strunk is so well doing right now in German literature. And as I said, this book is a very sad book because Roth is a very lonely man, after all, and he's thinking a lot. He's in his early 50s. He's thinking a lot about death and about funerals and stuff like that. But on the other hand, there's no author like Strunk who makes it so funny. Sometimes, even in these dark moments, the dark things that he's writing about, or the people that he is telling stories about, they're so funny that I absolutely had to laugh out loud when I was sitting on the train. So it's really sad that people who read books in English cannot read, that's a beautiful German accent, cannot read a single book by Heinz Strunk right now, but I hope that he will be translated. He has also written a very great novel that was his breakthrough as a serious author, contemporary author of literary fiction. A couple of years ago, he wrote a book called Der goldene Handschuh, The Golden Glove, which is a story about the real serial killer Fritz Honka, who killed 4 prostitutes in the early 70s, dismembered them, and hid their bodies inside his apartment. So Strunk is a very, he's writing about the things under the surface of German society, and he does it very well. And I really like his work. So these two books I read. What am I reading next week? I have started, oh my God, another book in German. What is Rainer doing? You might ask. But this is very important. It's by Maja Göpel, Unsere Welt, denken. Maja Göpel is a professor for, what is she actually doing? She's a professor she's a member of the Club of Rome, and she's a professor for political economy and sustainability scientist at the university in Lüneburg, and she's a very sought expert for the end of resources, and that we have to change our lives, to change our behavior on this planet in order to save the planet for future generations to come. So this is something that I'm very timely, Unsere Welt neu denken, to think our world anew. And if there's a translation, I will tell you about it next time. I will make a video here next week on Sunday. I have also started reading Celeste Ng's book, Our Missing Hearts, which is a dystopia about the United States in the near future, where Asian Americans have been made the scapegoat for everything that goes bad, and everything Asian American is eradicated from American lives. And this is a time where books are banned and things like that, and it's not so far away from what certain politicians in the US actually want to do. Not against the Asian community, but to restrict democracy and to ban books and things like that. So this is very timely, and Celeste Ng is a very great writer. This is the first book that I read by her, but I realized from the beginning, you realize that she's a great storyteller. So these two books I hope to finish over the course of the next week. My goal was to read 60 books this year. I am up at 45 right now, so I probably won't gonna make it. And on Tuesday or Wednesday, I will give you the end of the year TBR that I made. The books are lying here. There are too many books. I won't be able to finish them all, but I want to read from them. This is the pile of books that I read from until the end of the year, and they're all from my shelves. Nothing from the library right now. Today, I will finish this video by thanking you for watching this, by thank all returning subscribers, by new people who come to this channel. I would kindly ask you to subscribe to the channel. You can do that down below or in the corner. It would mean so much to me, and I hope to see you very soon on the channel. Bye-bye.